That's hilarious. So, all right, here I go. All right, now we're live. Okay. I was gonna title this because I saw that woke channel. They're doing protests. It's like day 65 of protests. I'm like, holy shit. This is longer than than 900 days of the siege of Leningrad. It's like, bro, are they gonna? It's like, what have they freaking accomplished? Have they gotten rid of the cops? Have they gotten rid of? It's just ridiculous, man. It's just some silliness, man. At this point, it's just like Black Lives Matter, man. But it's like it's just tiring. It's like because nobody's out, everyone's stuck inside anyway. It's like I don't know, man. It's just silly. Anyway, I do give shout out to Union Army Ball, who put out, he wanted me to talk about an old Jason Unruh video from 2017 about collapse and it's not going to happen. But now he put out a new video about Drumpf, and we're going to go ahead and review it. I kind of flipped through it, but it sounded kind of like the same type of stuff that he was saying back in 2017. So with further to-do, let's get into it. Let's watch this bit of thing that he has. And notice he's got the LARP jacket on too. He's got the LARP jacket. So it's going to be interesting to see. Anyways, hopefully my voice doesn't sound chopped and screwed like it did yesterday. Hopefully not. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways. Yeah, screw it. We'll go full screen. Okay, let's do it.
Couple of days. It's certainly been the announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump that he wants to suspend the elections.
Like I said, he needs to give that jacket back to I don't even know who he gives that back to. It's like it looks like he cut up an old Michael Jackson vest and then took like a Wignat biker's jacket and cut it up. That's what it looks like. It's like spikes on it. It's like, come on. It's like you need to give that back to Judas Priest or something, man. Come on now. Yeah. I'm your lover. I can't think of the words, but yeah. Or breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. Yeah. Do. I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent there. Okay. Anyway.
He hasn't given the order to do so, but he did announce on Twitter that he wanted to do
zombie capitalism. Zombie capitalism. All right.
Now there's a lot to unpack here. His justification for doing this, to try to extend his term in office to avoid an election because he knows he's going to lose.
We don't know for sure, but go ahead.
Is that the mail-in is not accurate, and that it's going to be really, really super corrupt and inaccurate. Except that every study the U.S. has ever done on mail-in voting shows that it's fine. There's been no significant corruption whatsoever. And in fact, I'm not sure that it even found any to begin with.
I think I'm not going to sit here and carry water for, MAGA Pete or for Trump himself, but it's like, I think they're talking about the volume of people, apart from the folks that are in jail that get to vote. Actually, women, they don't get to vote. Anyway, for mail-in votes for, military personnel overseas with the thousands that would deal with that versus the millions, of votes that would come from citizens already that are in this country. That's a whole different kettle of fish. Now, like I say, some of this is like, it goes back to with Obama, and people were so angry and upset because Operation Jade Helm and all this type of thing. And it's just, ultimately it's like, oh, he's going to try to, declare martial law, make himself, president for life. And to me, this has shades of that. And I just think it's bullshit all around. But yeah, let's go ahead.
Minor corruption. So his excuse is already complete and utter nonsense. So
Now, let's speed this up because I can't deal with this fool, man. He's got the air blowing in the background like me and something. I mean, daggum. Bro. Okay, here we go.
we really know what this is about. Trump is losing in the polls. He's losing support from among his own supporters. And now he's scared. He's afraid of what's going to happen. And that be losing. Now, it should go without saying that Trump does not have the authority to move the date of the election, which is usually the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. He can't do it. He can't write an executive order declaring that to happen. I wouldn't put it past him to try, but legally, no, he can't do that. If you do want to do that, you have to get it approved by 2 houses of Congress and the House of Representatives, and the Senate. Those are the 2 houses that you have to get it passed. Except the Democrats kind of control, so probably not going to happen. Democrats aren't going to go along with this. We all know that this idea that somehow the election's going to be stolen away from Trump is completely facetious. His claimed reason for wanting to delay the election is completely facetious. He literally just wants to stay in power and damn the election if he doesn't get what he wants. Think about that. When has there ever been a president of the U.S. that openly said this? That's basically what he's saying right now, is that, well, the elections will get in the way of him ruling with an iron fist, so might as well just delay them until his poll numbers go up, or hell, just cancel them altogether.
Well, the thing is that people have, there are other aspects. I know that you being a Canuck probably wouldn't understand this. I think GSP is Canuck, so no offense directly to him, but it's like, bruh, I want to say Abraham Lincoln, declared some shit like that. And of course, with FDR, there was a lot of murky stuff that didn't happen. So, I mean, the fact that you say, oh, well, it's just Trump, it's Trump derangement syndrome. Dare I say that? But I mean, whatever.
Even if he did, his term would still expire on January 20th. What needs to happen now is for the Republicans to finally stand up. I mean, I know they are spineless. They are spineless, cowardly people.
So are the Democrats. They're both spineless. But of course, you're going to have people like Vaught who still carry water for the Dems anyway. So it's just like, who cares? Nibba, it's ridiculous. Sorry, I'm checking the comment. Okay. I just decided to do that. Why not? Anybody in here? Nobody in here? Okay, that's all right. That's cool. I hope y'all enjoy this later on then.
But they finally need to step up and say once and for all, Trump, you've gone too far. I mean, I know bourgeois politics in general, but even they have to have some level of decency. So that
bourgeois politics, oh please. Like if you're Marxist, Leninist, Maoist, third worldist government would be that much better. Give me a fucking break, bro. Come on, man. You think they wouldn't be corrupt either? Come on.
They don't lose standing in the eyes of the public. I mean,
I hate both, basically, I don't really give a shit. It's like you go with the fools that are already corrupt than deal with the folks that will be corrupt. It's one of those things like, the evil that versus the evil that you don't know. You know what I mean? Anyway.
They ramble on constantly about the Constitution. What's constitutional? Oh, Obama's going to take the guns away. He's going to install himself as dictator. He's going to turn the country into Islamo-Marxist communism or some other, asinine idea like that. But when they've got a Republican president directly threatening the Constitution, where are they? Where was that moral outrage when George Bush was essentially...
Well, the Lincoln Project, but yeah, go ahead.
Throwing the Constitution in the garbage, spying on the American public, declaring illegal wars, detaining people without warrant, extrajudicial killing.
And that's not me defending the Lincoln Project. I'm just saying is that, if you want to have an idea of who is doing what, kind of point to them. But yeah, go ahead.
Things and a lot of stuff that Obama himself has continued, but they didn't feel that they really had to say anything about that either. Where are they? If they want to maintain at least some level of dignity, the Republicans are going to have to say something. They're going to have to do something about this. At the very least, could you get off your ass and just denounce the guy publicly? At least, can you at least say something?
So what? Whatever. I mean, they're not going to, but yeah.
Politicians love to talk, so it should be pretty easy for you. And to the Trump supporters, you're either going to finally realize what this guy is, what this guy has always been about, or you're going to finally admit that you are nothing more than a fascist draped in an American flag waving a Christian cross.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I mean, once again, you know, talk about alienation. You know, like I say, talk about alienation. This is, yeah. I love the LARP jacket though. I'm not going to take anyone seriously that has the Soviet, you know, something that you took off somebody's ushanka and put it on your left lapel there, and you're gonna tell people that they're a fascist and that, you know, oh, they hold a cross and everything else, like, you know, Christo-fascist. I hate that phrase, man. It's just so ridiculous. It's just oh, it's so gay. All right, go ahead.
Because if you give 1 ounce of respect to the Constitution whatsoever, you will say something about this. And I think that this might cost him.
Once again, why is it that we defend the Constitution? I thought that the Constitution was made by racists and you know, like you know, most of the writers, I mean, excuse me, the signatories of the Constitution were all slaveholders, apart from 1 or 2. You know, it's like, why are we co-signing this again? I don't get it. Yeah.
Some supporters, but there's always going to be that hardcore group that are going to support him no matter what.
Mohawk man. Hey there, Will. How's it going?
A popular president. So I think that these diehard Trump supporters really need to start admitting exactly what they are. They are fascists. They want a hyper-nationalism, demonize.
They want fascist. They're fascists. God damn. Oh, hold on. So they want hyper-nationalism. What?
Of minorities, blaming foreigners for all their problems, and a government that is essentially unaccountable. I mean, you can compare rounding up Jews and putting them onto trains to what ICE is doing. It's not exactly the same thing as a concentration camp.
Oh my goodness. Are you really gonna fall in? Are you really gonna take the? He's really taking the shit lib idea, isn't he? Holy shit. Okay, hold on. Oh damn it. Oh damn it. Oh. Where is it? Oh no. Okay, I'll let it go. Okay. Well, sorry about that. I hate when I do that. I move my hand and it just, yeah. Okay. Let's continue on with this. Oh boy.
But rounding them up is kind of the same thing in terms of rounding them up based on their ethnicity. Because no, this is about illegal immigration. Yeah, because the detention centers are full of European illegal immigrants, right? Right.
Golly. I mean, this is almost fetishism to me, where it's just like, oh, we can't, you know, we love the brown folks, yeah. No, yeah, not a fan of Unruh, but I didn't know he jumped on the Radlib train. Kind of sad to see. Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, he definitely jumps on the whole. Yeah, it's just cringe, bro. Go ahead.
But I think the bigger question is the bourgeoisie finally going to do something? Is the ruling elite of the capitalist class going to finally step in and say, okay, enough is enough,
To think that the ruling elite... This is where it all breaks down. You're supposed to be against the bourgeoisie and this and that, but now you're calling on the bourgeoisie to do something. Yep. I mean, these are the same folks who push for homosexuality. They support gay rights and all this other fake-wah. Yeah, but now suddenly they need to do something about Trump. Acting like he's... It's like, once again, the alt-right jumped off the boat a long time ago and accepted that he was just a tool. He was a pawn for somebody else. But of course, no, the bourgeoisie should kick him out. I mean, this is...
have made this country look foolish for long enough. We've already got our tax breaks. We've already got our deregulation. We've already got everything we wanted out of you. Now it's time to take the Trump and throw him under the bus. It's time to get rid of him. The question remains, for the section of the ruling class that votes, that supports Trump, who are they going to replace him with? And how are they going to deal with that with the Republican Party being so tarnished because of everything he's done? Even the bourgeoisie have to admit, even though they would probably love to go full oligarchy, full fascist in order to defend their privilege and wealth, I think that they can't afford the civil unrest right now. There's enough as it is, and already using dictatorial, unconstitutional powers.
What have they done? They've attacked the federal... Once again, the gloves are still on. Let me put it this way, is with all this Portland stuff and everything else like that, so far, the gloves have been on. You know, they're still using rubber bullets and tear gas. Wait until the heavier stuff starts to come out. They haven't gone anywhere near fascist, in my opinion. Nowhere near yet. They still, they haven't shut down. It's like they still have Facebook up. They still have YouTube up. It's like if this was real fascism or, whatever version of it you have, they would shut down all those sites. They would shut down all that stuff and say, nope, nobody's going to see it. And they're going to go in and It's not going to be pretty. I'll just put it that way. But it's ridiculous.
Fight it, also being ignored by Trump supporters and all those Minutemen militias who swear they're all about defending the Constitution and fighting a totalitarian government and are nowhere to be found right now.
Well, yeah, because I would say this, that, yeah, part of it is they're pussy, but also because why would they stand in solidarity with these spurgs who are attacking, the federal courthouse or are doing all that? Why would they stand with that? They're not going to be stupid. They're going to wait until shit falls apart. And maybe this is cope, in my opinion, but it's like, bruh, once again, it's like you want to see him come out so that you can try to make fun of him. You're mad because you can't make fun of them right now. You need to be out there right now so we can make fun of you. That's really what it is. These fools are fuming because the Proud Boys aren't out there. They're fuming because all these folks are not out in the streets, beating up folks and everything else like that. I just don't think that they're that stupid. And a lot of folks, as much as people want to talk about accelerationism, this and that, most of those folks, they're going to wait until ish actually falls apart, and then they're going to make a difference. But anyway, like I said, that's my take. Let's finish this bullshit up here.
I mean, it's true. You can only suppress people so long before you have a massive outburst. This actually brings me to what Kennedy originally said. If you make peaceful revolution impossible, you make violent revolution inevitable.
I've heard that already so many times. I don't care what Kennedy said. Kennedy was sitting there, getting BJs from, from that West German spy and all this other type of. I don't care what JFK has to say. I don't really care. He openly cheated on his wife and made no mistake about it because he said, well, he's a Kennedy. He can do what he wants. That was his attitude. So go ahead.
Now, Kennedy was using doublespeak at the time. He was saying peaceful revolution. He means simple, soft, democratic reforms. When he means violent revolution, he means literally communist revolution, considering the time that he was speaking in was the 1960s, and there was a great upheaval of that across Latin America and Asia. But I think it still fits, even in this new context. If you don't give them these soft...
No, it does not. No, it doesn't. You are just saying it does because you want it to fit your narrative.
Liberal, democratic, Western European-style reforms, you could end up with something much more radical, not necessarily Marxist, but something very radical. I don't believe that this is going to lead to a revolution in the United States or a Marxist.
Here we go.
But it will lead to a great deal of upheaval, maybe even a fracturing of the states. Hey, I'm all for breaking down the U.S. federal government. If every state tomorrow wanted to walk away and become their own country, have at it. Do it. The power of the federal government to be the center of imperialist power in the United States would no longer exist.
No, it would. It still would. They would just use other names, but yeah.
Because the United States would no longer exist.
No. I mean, to me, once again, this is the whole problem with a revolution, this and that. Those things would still exist. If you think that Lockheed Martin, or if you think that Raytheon and all these other businesses, you think that they don't have a secondary, opinion, that's bullshit. You bet your ass they do. So, I mean, you can be, all for LARPing about, Mud Boogaloo or Mud Civil War or whatever, Mud Revolution. But it's like, at the end of the day, these companies will continue to exist. So that's not going to stop the suffering in the world. They will find backdoors. And, the revolution will worry about, as they always do, the revolutions are more worried about the small people that they can get versus the big people that they can't get. Such as the Russian Revolution. Was the whole Romanov family killed? The main family. But the rest of the, like cousins and, other people further down the line, no, they didn't. They went to Paris, they went to the United States, and they disappeared into the mist, as they say. So Russian, the Russian oligarch system wasn't destroyed. It simply moved places and then kind of dissipated, and that's what you have to remember, It's always about context, This is the deepest level of LARPing I've seen. This is a huge bro moment.
So, have at it, do it. So the question is, how long is the bourgeoisie going to let this go on? They could let it keep going and just get their totalitarian oligarchy. But they also may not want to risk the social unrest because of it. And I just want to put one more thing out there, and this goes to the Republicans as well as the Democrats, to conservatives as well as liberals. Everything you have ever said about Nicolas Maduro being a dictator.
Oh. Look, you can say what you want to about Venezuela,
has won more elections than anybody in possibly ever. They have elections twice as often as in Venezuela. They're having elections twice as often as they're supposed to, because people keep calling for new elections every time Maduro wins. Then they call a new election, and then Maduro wins again. What does that say about you? For everything that you say, every lie, every slander that you put on Venezuela, calling it a dictatorship, Maduro keeps winning elections. You, on the other hand, you have your president essentially calling them to be stopped. But I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's just the Republicans that are doing that. Oh, it's just the conservatives that are doing it. It's America that's doing it.
Well, that's pretty much what you did. That's pretty much what you did before. I didn't hear the word Democrat come out of your mouth before. Now you suddenly decide to say something about it.
He does it and no one stops him, then it's America who let him do it.
Oh boy. Now you're going to put everybody under indictment, aren't you? You're just going to put everybody la-di-da-di. Oh, there you go. Typical. This is some fear. Once again, we see that things that, once again, the balance has changed. The conspiracy theorists, or at least the conspiracy theory ideas, went from the right and have now traveled to the left. Where it's like, let's talk about Mud-Dugan. I think Mud-Dugan was like one of the first ones, because of course both the left and the right use Dugan as some boogeyman that they can, hold over people's heads. But now, of course, it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know. Maybe I've just sobered up too much, but this is just ridiculous. This is just pitiful, petty fear-mongering.
So what do you think about that? The next time you go shooting off at the mouth about how Venezuela's a dictatorship. Haha, Venezuela, checkmate. Think about that.
How many people do you encounter online that do that? I don't think there are that many people. I think you just want to say that to make it seem like you were special.
That real epicenter of fascism is right in your own country, staring you right in the face by a social media tweet by your president. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon.
Well, there you go, folks. Like I say, I'm sorry. I'm a little low energy. I just kind of burnt out a little bit, Like I say, hopefully I'll get some better sleep and, get some better, more realistic stuff. But I know, Will DeMarco, you probably, I don't know if you're in the chat right now or not, but I did find the PDF for the National Bolshevist Manifesto written by, or at least translated by Karl Otto Pytel, which I think does have some good stuff. Like I say, it's, how many pages? 83 pages. Okay, so not too bad. So I think once I get started back over, I think August the 6th is when my service starts back over for the 20 hours. I think once that happens, then I will hopefully be a little bit more awake and be a little bit more, lively. But I think then, maybe a little bit before, I don't know. We'll see. I will go over the National Bolshevist Manifesto by Karl Otto Pytel. And I think that'll be some good content. I think that'll be some good stuff. But anyway, I think I've said my piece, folks. As you can see, Jason Unruh is still ridiculous. It's just nonsense. I almost feel like I should do a video on something else, but I think I'll keep that to myself. It has to do with Faraday Speaks and one of his mods, but I think, yeah. No, you don't have to put it in the chat, Ole. You don't have to do that. I have it. I have the PDF here. And YouTube really isn't good at posting links. But I know I got it through our plan as well. So I will be eventually reading through that, and we kind of talk about it a little bit more time than I have available right now. But anyway, I think I've said my piece, ladies and gentlemen. I hope the future audience is listening to this. I'm sorry, I just haven't been sleeping that well and kind of been going through this and that. Just kind of feel burnt out. So if you will excuse me, I'll try to get back to my more lively self in a few days. I haven't been out that much, so it's nothing to do with that. But anyway, I think I'll keep it there, and hope y'all have a good night. Bye-bye. See you later.